blessed sons and daughters of God, and children of the light, world round, as you celebrate and open your heart to the fires of freedom, won't you proclaim once more the freedom of God to be, the freedom to establish God upon earth, and do allow for the fullness of the presence of God to be where you are? For yes, blessed ones, that is the true freedom that all desire, that all aspire toward. And you, blessed ones, are at the point of attainment when you have gained enough of cosmic law to realize that the fires of freedom will burn brightly for you if you but exercise wise use of the law. Oh, if only throughout the land, the governments, the heads of state, the heads of communities, the heads of family, the individualization of each life stream would be expressing that divinely intended by the mind of God to flourish across the land. Then when you light up the fireworks, you would understand that the fire was exemplifying the transmutation of all unreality that needed to go into the flame so that you could step forth and proclaim your true freedom. Independence Day in the United States came and went without much fanfare. Oh, there were a few congratulations. And yet there were those that still considered, have we made a mistake? Have we signed a document in error? But nonetheless, they followed the command and the voice to sign that document, and sign they did. And it started a whole movement afoot in the land that allowed for the free expression to worship as they chose, to speak as they elected, to come and go under the freedom of their own heart flame and divine intelligence. But there are those in the land that would like to strip that freedom away from the very precious life streams that so need and desire that freedom even now. Some, however, have lost the sense of what freedom truly is. And that is why I, Saint Germain, stand before you, blazing the violet flame, so that it will consume on the instant all of the dross of the human intellect and the feeding into the unreality fostered by so many that want to keep the masses in bondage so that they may rape the land, drawing unto themselves power that is usurping the light of the Christ. This is why you, blessed ones, must give the cause to the violet flame. Your vigils that you engage in daily are carrying the violet flame and giving the impetus to the holy angels to consume as much as the law will allow according to your calls. So you see, you cannot give enough. Oh, there is a balance in all things for your life. that you must govern by the Christ mind. But, blessed ones, any time there is a period within your day that you have nothing to do, utter a call to the violet flame. Proclaim the freedom for the earth. Establish within your own vehicles of consciousness enough of the fire that you will have consumed on the instant any tendency to fall back into old habits, old momentums, and thereby accelerating your own light each time you are making the call to the violet flame. It is no wonder that some of you have already accomplished much in gaining wisdom in your life to recognize those areas of your life that need to be altered so that they reflect more of the presence of God and the purity of God that you truly are. But there is more that can be accomplished. You have not accomplished all that your presence desires of you in this incarnation. And should you reach that point of completion, I assure you there is much more that your presence will vest you with the opportunity to accomplish. For after all, there is no limit to the light of God that you can draw forth through your vehicles of consciousness and touch as a way of life in each of the planes of consciousness. This Independence Day is a day when you must stand for something, and that something, blessed ones, is the flame of freedom. It is not so that there are those who may run and create havoc throughout the earth. It is so that the Christ light may shine forth and proclaim God good for all. It is the actualization of God that must be drawn into manifestation, as you have heard from the Elohim that have presented to you their consciousness, their momentum in God good. You blessed hearts are establishing a shield of Elohim, and to afford that shield to perform its perfect work, there must be sufficient violet flame coursing through your vehicles of consciousness constantly, so that you are not tainted by the mass consciousness, the human effluvia that prevails in so much of the land. One day, you will be able to stretch forth the fingers of your mind and perceive only that of the golden threads of the Buddhic consciousness. You will have the attainment to rise above any of the negativity in the land and float within the glorious bliss of Akasha, all the while prepared at any given time to lower your consciousness with a ray of God consciousness into the planes of matter, so that you might manifest a creative endeavor for God. All because you are free. You can express the flame of God without concern of what one or another will say about you, what kind of matrix someone will hold in their consciousness because of their own limitations about you. You will be free to stand in the light of God. Why then are you not this very moment? Is it because there are certain limitations that you are still fostering within your own consciousness? Have you set limitations to your abilities? Have you proclaimed you are not worthy enough? Surely the presence of God burning upon the altar of your heart is worthy. It is pure. It is holy. Sanctified by the mighty I Am presence. And thus, you should be able to associate more with the flame upon the altar of your heart than the mind of others, the emotions of others, running rampant. You have a point of center within your being that allows you to enter into the allness of God, if you will but avail yourself. As the flame of freedom is established in the earth, the golden age will come to pass. You will see flourishing throughout the land, in the culture, in the fashion, in the speak, in the entertainment. All of those elements that you have come to know so well from this altar, streaming forth from the mighty Elohim, the Chohans, the archangels. You blessed hearts have been given the opportunity to touch, taste, and experience what freedom is all about. So when you gaze upon the fireworks of the celebrations of the 4th of July in the United States, and yes, those that are held round the world at the New Year, or any other celebration where fireworks are exhibited, consider that is the firing of the crown of the 12 mighty Elohim and their divine complements, of the 12 Chohans of the rays, of the 12 archangels and the archai, of your own mighty I Am presence, and the very crown chakra of your being, firing with the freedom of expression of God, exhibiting the truth of your identity. And let it remind you, there is no limitation to what you can accomplish. When you enter into the true sense of freedom and the independence that it affords you, it is not an independence to ride roughshod over others, to manipulate or control. The only control you are called to exhibit is that over the discipline of your vehicles of consciousness and the Christ command in the elemental forces of nature. That is the freedom that is afforded to you. Much is said of free will, and how you are given the free will to be in the presence of God. But it does not give you the license to exercise unreality, negativity, but only that which is God good, for that is where you build good karma. good momentum. Establish fires of the heart that roll out and return to you in the benefit of blessing and momentum of God bliss for exercising the flame of freedom. God in life desires to be free. Your heart flame desires to be free, no longer imprisoned in a vehicle of consciousness that locks it away, hiding the light, but letting that light shine forth, exercising that light in every aspect of your life, and filling that life with all of the gifts of the Elohim that are streaming forth for you on this, the glorious Freedom Conclave. It is no accident that the shield of Elohim comes forth during this cycle, for it is one of the greatest gifts since the violet flame and the knowledge of the I Am Presence that is afforded to the sons and daughters of God to be drawn into the outer consciousness for your benefit, so that you might know this shield as your protection, your momentum in God reality that you can call forth. It is because of the golden age that this dispensation has come forth. And my gratitude is unending to all those who have gone to the karmic board on behalf of this dispensation to bring it to the fore. For I know and I see the golden age already realized upon the earth. And you, blessed hearts, will fan the fires of freedom. You will ignite that freedom flame in the many sons, many daughters of God, so that the individualization of God, that is the truth of who they are, will rise up and take the Christ command over the unreality on the earth and proclaim the victory of the golden age. And then the fireworks will light the night sky, and it will be as a noonday sun when the golden age has been proclaimed for the earth and a star is born. That is the vision for you to hold as you entertain your own freedom in the ascension and the light. For it is allowing for the golden age for the earth to come into manifestation. Throughout this cycle, under the canopy of the mighty Elohim, let your heart be in rapture in the dazzling light that streams forth from their consciousness. Let the rays of your own God presence stream forth into your outer vehicles, so that you will deal with all of the areas of your own garment that needs to be healed, transmuted, purified, loved, disciplined, Oh, we cannot forget the discipline, can we not? For it is the hardest thing to learn, that these outer vehicles must be disciplined by the flame upon the altar of your heart. It is not imposed by outer circumstances, but from within. And how do you accept that discipline without guilt or a sense of limitation or harboring any negativity as it relates to your habits, your momentums, your records that need to be transmuted? Blessed ones, putting your attention upon the violet flame and seeing that flame go into the record, the memory of that record, the cause of that record, and have it consumed by the violet flame, and then letting go of it, so that you are no longer holding on to the record, or rehearsing it over and over and over until you have recreated it all over again. That, blessed ones, is a futile exercise, leads to no thing good, and only the destruction of the very thing that you would be free of. So you see, blessed hearts, there are disciplines that are required of you. But you have the tools. You have the teaching from this altar. You have the ascended and cosmic beings, the Elohim, the archangels and their legions of angels, to assist you at every turn. And if you doubt their presence, then call for a sign to show you, by the grace of God, by your own mighty I Am presence, the very presence of the holy angels and the ascended masters. You will see, you will feel, or you will have such a deep experience in the light of God that it is unmistakable, one you have never had before. Or perhaps it is a repeat of what you have had many times, and you have ignored it, passing it off as some other type of event. Oh, I became chilly, and therefore the goosebumps on the flesh were just the change of temperature in the room. Well, blessed hearts, the change had to do with your own body temple responding to the charge of light and the momentum from your mighty I Am presence or an ascended and cosmic being, or you are brushed by an angel passing by. There are so many signs throughout your day of the help and assistance from not only your own mighty I Am presence, but the servants to your life stream from the ascended octaves, that you should be able to witness the benefit and the glory of God right where you are. That is freedom. And the freedom to express that in word and deed, in a way of life. That is what independence is all about. That is what this day celebrates for the United States. and should be celebrated in every country around the world. For the individualization of God desires to be independent of any encroachment, but to be free to express God, to live under the canopy of their own God presence, without concern of bodily harm or being derided from those who know not what they speak. Freedom for the flame upon the altar of your heart. That, blessed ones, is what I, Saint Germain, offer you. That is what this 2,000-year cycle under my own momentum of freedom is all about. By many incarnations upon the earth were spent piercing through the veils of Maya, the layers of darkness, so that there could be the expression of God reality, left as the breadcrumbs, if you will, to follow on your path to enlightenment. But they are far from breadcrumbs. They are points of light, cups of liquid consciousness. And they lead you straightway to your own God presence. And that God presence returns in kind to these outer vehicles as much light as you can possibly hold at any given time. That is what keeps the life force flowing through your outer vehicles. The Creator has established the fullness of opportunity for the co-creation with God to carry on through each of the vehicles of consciousness when the light of God is furnished. Over the crystal cord you receive daily as much light as your presence trusts that you can utilize wisely. In those cases where there are individuals who have so desecrated God in life, to have cut off the very source of the light, they must usurp that light from the light of others. Stealing that light, blessed ones, is a grave karma. And for most, they will not be coming back into incarnation, for they lose their opportunity when, over and over again, they commit such heinous crimes to God and life. So rest assured, there is judgment that comes by the hand of God. They do not always skate free as they may seem to in this outer world in which you live. Hold fast to your purity. Hold fast to the freedom given to you so that you can express the mighty I Am presence right where you are, so that all of the teaching of the past cycles of my incarnations, the present cycle of my ascended cosmic being will not go unused, for it is for your wise use. It is for you to appropriate, internalize, make your own, and then freedom will abound. I commend you this day in exercising the free will to be in the presence of the ascended masters and the 12 mighty Elohim. I commend you for having a heart prepared to receive my momentum and my encouragement for you to accelerate in your own life toward that ultimate freedom of the ascension in the light. Let the flame of freedom burn ever brightly in the land. Let those far and wide across the earth know what it means to be committed to freedom's flame and to stand for the independence of the heart flame of the sons and daughters of God. I, Saint Germain, wish you a joyous celebration of the fires of freedom. I thank you.